So I remember this one time this girl I knew called me her bestie. She said, "Oh, you're my best friend." And I shut it down immediately. I was like, "Yeah, listen, don't call me that." And she was like, "Why?" And I said, "Because that space is actually reserved for my wife. And no other woman will get the opportunity to be my best friend because that space is 100% reserved for my wife." Now she was confused and she was blown back by it because Amanda has never said that to her before. Because she turned around, look at me, and be like, "Oh, but I got two other male best friends and stuff like that." I'm like, "Listen, I'm a man of principle. I don't play that bullshit." I'm like, so I said to her, "How would you think my wife would feel if I get married and I tell her I got a female best friend and it's not you?" So she went on and said, "Yo, you're going too deep into this shit." And I said, "Listen, listen, lady. Listen. Listen, Linda. I'm not playing that game with you. I'm not playing that game with no woman because that space is reserved for my wife. And I definitely would not marry a woman that got a best friend who's a male and it's not me because your spouse, your wife or your husband is supposed to be your best friend. No man out there is supposed to be a woman's best friend other from her spouse. And no woman out there is supposed to be a man best friend other from his wife. And I know a lot of people are going to give me pushback and say this is nonsense and this is bullshit and blah, blah, blah. But let me break it down for you. A best friend is somebody that's very important to you. A best friend is someone that you talk to about any and everything. A best friend is where you share a lot of intricate details with. Now, when you're married, right, and you have that person who is the opposite sex, how would your spouse feel that you're sharing all these important details with someone of the opposite sex and not he or she? Now, I cannot tell people what to do or who they should friend or who they should call their best friend or not their best friend or it should be your husband or your wife or it should be nobody. I'm not in the position to say that, but I will say this. If you are married and your wife have a male best friend, divorce her ass. And if you are married and your husband, ma'am, has a female best friend, divorce his ass. And I don't give a shit who want to get mad or who want to get upset because I'm telling you, most of the time, the people that they claim to be their best friend is the people that actually was fucking them in the first place. Yeah, I said it. I don't give a shit.